Hey guys, welcome back to the C2C Podcast. In this episode, I want to talk about doing things that expand you as a coach. Right now, I am literally at a retreat. We just finished speaking, or I just finished speaking literally, I think, 2 hours ago, and I'm going to be doing another talk again tomorrow. Doing events and retreats is the way that you expand yourself as a coach, but there are other ways to expand yourself as a coach. The reason why I want to do this episode talking about expanding is because your clients, your leads, the people looking to hire you want to see how you expand your life because they want to hire people that are doing what they are too scared to do. Your highest level clients are people who take self action. They're people who are self led. They're people who are highly driven and motivated, and they are fired up. They want to work towards the results. However, there's a lot of things that are holding them back. They have past failures. They've worked with coaches that didn't deliver the result. They maybe have a high level of uncertainty with a certain program, possibly your program. And so what happens is they're on the fence right now, hesitating, or, in their language, planning. I'm trying to plan my next move. I'm trying to pick the right thing. And this is where you as a coach have to step into the highest version of yourself and lead by expanding. When you show people that you are expanding as a coach, people want to be in your activating energy. And that's what gets them fired up to commit to a program or to work with a coach. And expanding energy is something that you can do in multiple forms. I love to expand my energy through speaking. Me and Lorna host a retreat every single year. On top of that, I speak about 5 to 6 times a year. This year, I'm actually looking to speak on the biggest stage ever, which is TEDx. And I want to speak 3 times on TEDx because I know that I can continue to grow my message, but I also know that it's going to challenge me in ways that I haven't been challenged before. I was accustomed to speaking, and I'll just talk about this one expanding piece before I go into other ones. I was accustomed to speaking just in a small room, and maybe there's 10 or 20 people. And then when I did my first retreat, I was like, holy cow, there's a lot of people that are looking towards me, that are looking towards the other speakers. And now I have to go from I'm just giving a presentation to now I have to create a story. I have to show up and give a high level of value. I have to emotionally connect to the audience. And that forced me to increase the quality of which I speak. That's why when I'm doing episodes like this, it sounds like something that's really polished. I don't use a lot of filler words because I had to practice and watch myself speak and listen over and over again and say to myself, oh, wow, I'm using a lot of filler or I'm not clear in my message. And this has made me a greater speaker. By expanding this way, when I do a masterclass and a seminar, it's fire. When I coach my clients, it's something that's really high impact and it's something that's valuable to them. But that had to happen by me expanding myself and breaking, or I should say, almost trying to break through the knowledge that I had currently in order to get to a new level. And now with TEDx, there has to be another level above that. This is where I'm going to take my speaking from their slides to now I actually have to remember the entire presentation. I have to word for word know exactly what I'm going to say, punctuality, so I can convey that message and put that energy across. But the only way that I can do that is if I expand and go to a bigger stage. And that TEDx stage is something that makes me nervous. It's something that I've never done before. But because I've never done it and I'm leaning in, every time someone else sees my presentations, they're like, wow, how are you doing that? How are you able to speak on retreats? Oh, wow, you're going to TEDx. That's something I've always wanted to do. You see, your clients want to operate and do the things that you do every single day. That's why they're attracted to you. You have something that they don't have right now. You're doing something that they're hesitating on doing right now. And that's what happens when you step into your power. Speaking is just one of the things that expands you. Creating a higher level program with a higher level price point means that you've got to hire a higher level mentor. I was going to say higher level mastermind, a higher level mentor that you've never hired before. Like the first coach that I hired was 8K. The second coach that I hired was 30K for 8 months. And then the coach that I hired now, well, actually I have 2 coaches right now. I have a YouTube coach to help me create these episodes. And I also have my coach for TEDx. And just between the 2 of those, there's 55,000. And me and Lorna hired a coach last year that for 2 months cost us 40,000 USD. I'm investing in myself at bigger levels all the time. And by doing that, that shows my clients, that shows the people that I'm working with, hey, look, they're investing in themselves too. This coach, Andrew, he's growing. He's doing all of the things that I want to do. And you know what? If he's investing 100K, I should up level and maybe invest 10. Your clients will follow your lead, but you can't expect a client to invest 6K when you're hesitating in investing 10 or investing 20, because that's not in alignment. And see, high level clients know when you are out of alignment with your message. If I go and as a coach or a trainer, I tell someone, hey, listen, don't drink coffee. And then I'm drinking coffee twice a day, or they see a coffee cup on your desk, you're out of alignment. They're not going to buy your message. And that's why they're not buying your program. That's why they're not reaching out to you. It's not that you're not knowledgeable. No, all coaches are knowledgeable. It's that you are not embodying the message that you're showing. This is why we have to expand as a coach. I love expanding. So besides investing in myself more and more every single year, I push the boundaries on what I know every single year, like speaking. But I also make a point of every single year doing one thing that I have never done before, something I don't even know where to start, something that's completely outside of my comfort zone. And this year was writing my book. I'm writing a book, title pending, Deep Rest, but it's talking about depression for men and for entrepreneurs. And when I decided and said to myself, hey, look, I'm going to write and create a book. I'm going to write a book on depression. A huge sense of overwhelm came to me because I recognized in the moment, like, holy cow, I don't even know where to start. I've never written a book before. I don't even know if I'm a good writer. I'm a great speaker, but speaking and writing is different. The way you read is not the same way that you listen. And so now I have to create a completely different skill. I have to do something completely out of my comfort zone, actually completely out of my zone of genius. And you know what? I'm on chapter 4 right now. I'm actually taking the opportunity during this retreat to write another 2 chapters. But in doing this, it's exciting for me because I'm learning a whole new set of skills. I'm actually learning that the way that people write is something completely different. I'm learning how to create and craft a story to tell a message. And you know what? It's translating into better emails. It's translating into better copy, better written copy. So although it's something I've never done, it's expanding the other things that I have done inside of my life. But I would never have known that. I would have never realized or put the two together unless I started to write a book. And here's the thing, there are a lot of things as a coach that I'm sure you're like, oh, that's all my thing, but I'm saving up for that. Or I don't know if I'm the coach or the professional for that. Here's the reality. You're holding yourself back. You're waiting for when you have the most amount of money, but in reality, there's never going to be the right time to invest. You're waiting until you have the perfect opportunity. You've gotten exactly 6 months carved out to write the book that's been in your head. But in reality, there's never the perfect time. Something will always come up that prevents you from getting those results. And so this is where, as a coach, if you're going to expand, you have to make a commitment and take fast action right away. The most successful coaches, the ones who expand year after year, and don't just expand in a 1x or 2x, but they're 10xing or 50xing what they are doing every single day. These coaches are ones who are making a decision, they're taking decisive action, they're committing to the process, and that's what makes them successful. They're saying to themselves, you know what, I've had this book on my mind, I'm starting on Wednesday, and they create a clear goal. Now, when I expand, and this is what you should be doing for your clients and your coaches, or your clients, holy cow, you're the coach, your clients, got a lot of stuff going around me here. It's crazy. But what you should be doing for your clients is you should be sharing with them every single time you expand, teach them how to expand in the right way. So, for example, create stories and talk about how inspired you were to start this new thing. Create stories and talk about how maybe some fears came up for you during the process of this thing. Create content talking about what you've learned so far through the process. And then, of course, showcase the victories along the way to show them that it is possible. When you do this and you do this over and over again, people start to see that it's okay to make a commitment and get scared. It's okay to go halfway through a commitment and have to make some tweaks. It's okay to go through a commitment and be like, oh, I don't know if this is me or it's uncertain, because it normalizes the process of investing in you as a coach. When you normalize all of the fears, concerns, the overwhelm, the excitement, when you normalize all of the things that would detract someone from a program, that's what makes them go, you know what? This coach makes their process look fun. This coach, they're showing me that investing in myself is actually something that's exciting, that doing that thing that I was nervous about is actually going to be the thing that brings me the most joy. But the only way that we can do that is we have to be the ones to expand first. It's why I love expanding. And outside of just getting clients and building your business, because let's be real, it's not always about that. It's not always about that. Me expanding as a human being has significantly improved the relationship with my wife. I can't tell you how many times learning to write a book has really taught me better communication to speak with Lorna. It's crazy how just getting a clear thought on paper or communicating a sentence clearly makes me go, wow, when I'm speaking, I'm not communicating that well. And this is what's made me refine the way that I'm speaking. I start to pause. I start to be intentional with what I'm saying. But doing other things like expanding in retreats has also improved the relationship with my friends, and it's improved my friends' lives. When my friends who had not started businesses but had business ideas in their head saw me doing things like retreats, saw me taking these big moves and transitioning from the studio to online and then trying to write the book, what happened was is my friends said to themselves, if he can make all of these moves, if he can make all of these decisions, then I should probably make a move too. As a matter of fact, I can make a move. And I'm so proud. One of my best friends, a friend of 30 years, Anthony, he started a construction company and he's doing phenomenal. I love him. I've hired him for 2 jobs. He's incredible. But when he had a conversation with me, he's like, you know what? I never realized this before, but watching you take these big leaps made me want to do my dream and made me want to start something because I had been thinking about it forever. So expanding isn't just for your clients. It's for your friends. It's for your family. It's for all the people who are watching you every single day who are looking for a reason as to why they should take a leap. They are one video away, one post away, one story away from taking a leap of faith on their goals, a leap of faith on their dreams, and a leap of faith to join your program. This is why expanding is so important. And if you have not expanded, chances are, if you haven't done anything this year or even in the last 6 months, chances are your business is stagnant right now. Chances are you're not getting clients week after week, having people cancel on the consult calls. Chances are you're not getting people to engage in your content because when you are not activated, your audience feels that, and then that brings the energy down, and then they don't invest in you. Investing in myself, expanding for me personally, has always led to an increase in my business and getting a larger amount of business because I am in activated energy and I am fully embodying it. And you know what? If you look back on your content now, you can see the times in which you created something out of expanded energy, or times where you created something and maybe you forced it. So the way that I don't force things is I just continue to expand. I do one thing I've never done every single year. I do one thing to refine a skill that I have every single year. And then I do one thing to give back. And a lot of these retreats that we do also encompasses the giving back, because it's really important that we're not just improving our own lives, that we're improving the lives of others. And that has left me feeling so fulfilled. Guys, as coaches, you need fulfillment. Fulfillment is what's going to allow you to be a coach sustainably forever. And for all the coaches that I see that are burnt out, it's because you haven't done anything that's actually lit you up like this. So from this, something that is going to expand you, lean in, invest at a higher level, hire the coach, work with people to continue to expand, do something that's uncomfortable. That is the lesson, effectively, that is inside this episode. And if you need help expanding, that's what I'm here for. I help coaches expand every single day. You know where to find the link. It's inside the description. Book a discovery call and we can have a one-on-one conversation to see if it's going to be a good fit for you. That's all for this episode.